Welcome back everyone to Data Science for Everyone. Today we're going to be looking at utilizing event-based programming with JavaScript. Let's get started. So, when a user clicks a button, scrolls, or simply moves the mouse on a web page, that action creates an event. Now, an event is the browser's way of signaling that an action has happened to the DOM. Now, events allow us to create interactive web applications that respond to the user's actions. Now, this is done utilizing handlers for specific events. So what handlers are functions that are called when the event occurs. Now, utilizing events and event handlers can change the color of an element when a user clicks it. It can also move an element around the screen when the user presses any key. And a lot of other things that we can potentially look at throughout this course. Now, in this video, what we're going to learn is we'll look at writing event handlers to respond to some common DOM events. In this way, you're going to learn and add interactivity to your web pages. So first off, we'll look at some event handlers. And let's go on and create up a new file. And here we'll just call this index.html. And let's go on and create up a new folder here. We'll call this event handlers. And we'll put this in here for our index.html. Now, and let's go on and create up some basic information in here. And let's have a title, and we'll just call this event handlers with JavaScript. And let's add in an h1 tag, so a header tag. And we'll just say hello class. And let's add in, and let's emphasize the class with an exclamation point here. Now, inside of the header, let's give it an ID. So ID is equal to here main header. And let's go on and also add in an src script here, and we'll just call this script.js. Now, an event handler function is going to be triggered by some specific event. Okay, so for example, we could attach a handler to a particular element, such as our header tag here, and that's what we're going to be doing. And we can change that so that when maybe we click on it, it's going to maybe change its color. Maybe it'll make it bold. Maybe it'll do something else in that way, okay? So let's go on, and we've put in here an emphasis on the word class. Okay, so that's what the EM is. For those of you that maybe use Word or something, that looks like it should make it look like italics. Okay. Now, this is, again, a very basic file. It's very similar to the ones that we've created before and in the past. Okay, it's a very basic HTML file. We don't even need this, okay? We can make it extremely clean if we want to. All right, so now, one thing that I want to let you know is, again, here we are putting script at the end. Now, by placing the script element at the end of the body, we're going to be sure that all the page contents has been loaded into the DOM before we run our JavaScript. That is the reason that we would put it here, okay, at the end. And again, it would be technically at the end of the body. If we wanted to put in something else here, so we could put in a p tag. So here is a paragraph, okay? So let's go on and create up a new file here. And let's save this as our script.js. And let's do let header is equal to document.querySelector, and we're going to grab the main header. So then we'll grab header.add event listener, and we're going to listen for the click. So we want to use the mouse click to do this. And we'll have an empty arrow function here. And we will do something like console log you clicked the header. Okay? And again, this is nice and simple. It's not something that is overly complicated. We just want to be able to check and see how this works. So let's go on. And I think I put this in my desktop, so I'll go on and open it up with Google Chrome. And let me bring it over here for us. Over here. And if you notice here, so it's things that we talked about. We had our header, right? And we had the class. Now I haven't clicked anything yet. I'm going to go on and I'm going to open up the inspection tool. I'm going to go to the console. And so notice I can click here on the paragraph and there's nothing. But if I go here and I click on the header, I can click it a bunch of times and you see how over here this 11 is there now, right? It's because I clicked it 11 times. I can click it again and again and again. It'll just keep going up. But if I click anywhere else on this page, hopefully you guys can hear me clicking. I can maybe bring it closer to the microphone. You can hear me clicking, okay? But if I click on it, you can see it going up, okay? So let's go on back to our file and let's see what else we can do with this. So what's going on here specifically in our JavaScript function here, okay, our JavaScript file? So first off, we are using our query selector method, okay, to get the element main header. We are saving it in the variable header, okay? Then we are going to be able to call this later on, and then we're going to use the event listener method on the header element to attach an event handler to that element. Okay, so what this event listener does, it's going to tell JavaScript, and again here I can even highlight it and hover over, and it's going to tell us a little bit about it. But what it's actually doing is it's telling JavaScript to watch for a particular event happening on an element and to execute some function when it does. Okay, so that's great. All right, now this requires two arguments. All right, first it needs this click, okay, or this event, okay. Now this specifically would be something like, if it's click, it is a mouse click. Now we could do another one that's called key down, okay, and that's for keyboard presses. Or we could do something like scroll, okay, and that is for a window scrolling, okay. Now for us though, we wanted click. Now the second argument, right here, technically to here, is going to be a function, okay, and it's going, in this particular case though, it's going to be logging a message to the console, and we can call it any time when someone clicks the heading. All right, so now let's go on to maybe another example here where we can add event bubbling, okay? Now, event is triggered on an element, so when it gets triggered, all the element ancestors are going to be utilized. Now, for instance, when you click on this h1 tag, okay, now, and that's that, again, that is when you are here when you click on it, okay, not necessarily in your JavaScript file, okay. You are technically clicking the body element, which contains the h1 element. So again, here, the body contains the h1. All right. Now, this progression of events from children to ancestors is known as event bubbling. Now, let's harness event bubbling by adding an event handler to the emphasis tag. Okay. Now, and we'll do this also to the body tag. So since emphasis is a child of H1, all right, or our header 1, and the header 1 is a child of the body, a single click on emphasis should trigger the handlers attached to all three elements. Okay, so what it is we would click on emphasis, and it should do something with H1, and it should do something with the body. So let's go back over here, and let's do document.query selector, and we're going to grab the emphasis header. Now, what we're going to do, instead of actually saving it into a file here, okay, or not into a file, into a variable, we're just going to do the whole thing all in one go. So let's do add event listener, and we'll say on click here, we're going to, what do we want it to do? So let's just say, let's follow with the log here and say you clicked the M tagged word. Okay, now let's do the same thing though and do something like document.query selector, and we'll do body. Okay, dot add event listener here on click. Oops, sorry, you guys couldn't see there. And again, we'll do the same thing. Oh, this is a little annoying that's doing that. And let's do, again, log of you clicked the body element. Or you clicked a body element, and maybe you clicked a tagged word. Okay, so now let's give this a try. We'll save it. We'll go back over. Let's refresh this. Let me go on and open up the inspector tool so we can see. Let's go to the console, and I'm going to click on class. Now, if this works correctly, we should have 3 events that happen. Click. Notice you clicked an M tagged word, then it goes up 1. Okay, so the emphasis was inside the header, then it goes up 1 in the tree, right? Okay, and it's going to grab our header, and it's going to go up 1 again, and it grabs our body. All right, so this is kind of nice to see how this works for us. Now, technically, if you look at it, it kind of went in the reverse way. It went body, header, and emphasis, but you can kind of see an idea of how that is working. But if you like this and you want more of this type of content, please comment, subscribe, and hit the like button, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.